What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to the channel. Think I got a pretty good episode for everybody today. I just want to recap on a couple things real quick. If you remember watching the videos a couple weeks ago regarding the Dirty Dodge, our boy sitting right back over here, I stated in a video that we had an engine transmission combo purchased, but there was some shady stuff going on with that. We didn't know where we ended up with it. Well, again, it's been a couple weeks ago now. Essentially, we were able to get that resolved without any conflict. We just got our money back and we parted ways, right? So the search went on and I found a perfect setup, which I believe is going to work for us for what we want to do for the Dirty Dodge. And I've got it actually sitting on the other side of the camera here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and dive into that real quick, why we purchased this, and then we're going to get into today's episode. So, anyway, let's quit talking about it. Let's be about it. This is Busted Radio Garage. All right, guys, here we go. So here is my newest purchase for the Dirty Dodge. And I know it's not a big block, and I know it's not a Hemi, and we'll get into that throughout the episode, about the conversation the girls and I had. But what we do have here is, I believe, a 315 Poly Super Red Ram. Now, this setup come out of a 1956 Dodge Custom Lancer up in Northern Ohio, and I found it on the old marketplace, right? Now, this family was super cool, super cool. They're actually building a 56 Dodge Royal on a Dodge Dakota setup, or a Dodge Dakota frame, Dodge Dakota chassis, however you want to put it. And they had a pretty cool setup going on up there. So what they done for me, or for whoever wanted to buy this actually, is they jerked the entire system out, carb to pan, all the accessories on the rim out the door for the engine, right? So let me show you what we've done. So, or what they done rather. So here's the 315. Everything from carb to pan, literally. All the way down to the spark plug wires, motor mounts, the whole smash. And then we were able to go ahead and get, again, the motor mounts, the power steering, which actually mounts to the back of the alternator here. So it all runs as one system. Or actually, I'm sorry, the generator. We were able to get the radiator and the mounts, fan, pulleys, the old oil breather cover. I mean, gentleman actually sent me brand new parts that he had bought for this engine, still in the box. I mean, super cool family. Kevin, thank you very much for getting this done for us. You're awesome. You and your family are very, very cool. Good luck with your project up there. So, there is a downside to this. According to Kevin, the previous owner of this, the engine is locked up. It's seized, it's stuck, which is fine. I don't care. On the way home last night, I actually stopped and seen Jason up at Calvert Racing Engines. We went ahead and went through this. We're in there like swimwear. So in today's episode, we're going to get this plumb tore apart and get ready for Jason. And then I also talked to John up at Cope Racing Transmissions, who takes care of all our transmissions here for BRG. We're going to take this up to him and have him go through it and get it ready for us. So, essentially in today's episode, we got to get this thing plumb tore apart. We're going to get this down just to a rotating assembly, short block. We're going to get the transmission, torque converter out, set it off to the side, and get it palleted up to take to John. That's where we're at for this episode. And as we get to tearing this apart, I'll explain to you kind of what happened with the other deal and the conversation the girls and I had for the Dirty Dodge as far as the 315 Poly goes. So anyway, let's get you set up. We've got to try to get this transmission taken off here. But in order to do that, we got to get these torque converter bolts out. Hopefully we can get that transmission to rotate over enough to get those bolts out if the engine is truly locked up. Let's get to work. All right, guys. So first things first we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and get this starter out of the way. And then there should be an inspection plate mounted on the bottom side of this transmission, just like you see on the other one. We'll start getting that off there so we can access the torque converter, and we're going to kind of go from there. Once we can see if we can get the torque converter bolts out, we'll go ahead and start getting this bell housing the transmission off. So, yeah, let me get you set up and we'll start getting this off. And I have a feeling we're going to go through a whole lot of PB Blaster today. Good night. All right, guys, let's go ahead and try to get this starter off here. Get it loose anyway. I have a feeling we're going to be doing some fighting on this thing today. Oh, okay.
I'll take that. That was easy enough. So you gotta be careful. I'm gonna be working under some of this stuff. I don't want nothing to break. Try not to be in your all's way here. So you can see what's going on, going on. I don't know if I have enough room for some ratchet wrenches in here. I doubt it. I know I'm not gonna have enough room for an impact. See if we can get some ratchet wrenches. I doubt it, but we'll find out. Nope. Well, maybe. We'll leave that top one for last. Nope. Gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. This starter probably weighs 50 pounds. I know one thing's for sure. This starter's not going back on here. We're gonna go with the old mini spool starter, I can tell you that. Leaves us a lot more room for other activities and doesn't weigh nowhere near as much. All right. Come out of there. Jeez. You get, woo! Feel the burn. Feel the burn. All right, guys, we got the starter out of the way. You can see the torque converter back here. And then here should be our inspection plate. But we're going to have to go on the other side. There should be a bolt or two over there for that. And then we should be able to slide this sucker out of here. So let's go over here and check out what we got right quick. All right, we got one bolt right there. We should be able to take that bolt out of there and then get this inspection plate out of the way. And then we should be able to get in there and see about our torque converter bolts. I'm not sure about these two bolts here, but we're going to go ahead and pop them out. Again, this is my first 50s transmission, but obviously that's going to hold the transmission. So we're going to see about getting those out of the way. Maybe this section will come off as well. So let's get set up and get these taken apart. All right, get my eyes on here. You can take about an entire inch, one of these engines apart with a 1/2 inch, a 9/16, and a 5/8 wrench. So it doesn't take many tools to get it done. I know one thing's for sure, these freeze plugs have been worked on, which could be expected out of a 70-year-old engine, I would imagine. All right, good deal. Golly, look at all the dirt, mud, no oil, and everything else up there. Okay, so I'm wondering, and I truly am wondering, if this plate comes out of here. Because if I'm being honest, I don't know. It looks like it's just part, I don't know. Well, I mean, there's one way to find out, I reckon. Let's just get it out there. Let's get you out of the way. We'll just start making a pile here. Those there I can get with a ratchet. It would be super nice if this come out of the way. I'm gonna go out and get this transmission off so we can get off the ground. That would be nice. Probably help getting some of this gunk out from around this bolt. Man, that one's on there now. There's one. I have a feeling these are just gonna be to hold the transmission on, but I don't know. Yeah, I didn't suspect not. I was kind of hoping they'd come out of the way. All right, let's see if we can rotate this transmission around. I'm not sure if there's bolts in there or not. I can only imagine there is. Not 100% for sure. Oh, I see a bolt up in there now. Okay. All right, hold on. All right, guys, I went ahead and tested it. The engine is locked up. So the only choice I'm going to have left is just try to pull the transmission out, leave the bell housing on there, and then take the bell housing off once the transmission's off there. So I've got this old, I do have a trans jack over there, but I went ahead and got this old like lift. I think it's like an old motorcycle lift I had from years ago. I just propped it up underneath here. I'm gonna lower the engine down, get it flush on that tire, try to get everything kind of level. We're gonna pull these bell housing bolts out and see if I can just slide this whole unit out and get the transmission away from the engine. Let me get you set up. We're gonna get these bell housing bolts out and see if we can just pull this away and at least get these two separated, and then we'll fool with that bell housing, or we'll fool with that torque converter. So, yeah. Come on down, little buddy. tire right underneath that oil pan, or it's not interfering with that transmission. I think we gotta go up just a tickle. Ow, come here. Let this down just a little bit. Just let everything settle. All right, let's get an impact. Let's get these bell housing bolts out and see what we can do here. All right, the last thing I want to do is go too crazy and start snapping bolts off. So we're going to take our time here. Get this one out of the way. I think my battery might be about shot. Oh, there's that one. All right. Golly, that one's covered in oil. All right, let's get you guys out of here. Let's play nice. Let's be friends. That ain't being a friend. How about you? Okay. Get all of these? Should be. Let's let some pressure off here. All right, let's see what's going to happen here. Do you want to come off there, little buddy? Huh? Do you? Do you want to come off there? Where am I going to start here? Where am I going to start? I need you to come loose, bub. Can I just jerk you around a little bit here? I don't want to tear up the case. I mean, you've only been on here 25 years longer than I've been alive, or 20 some years. Anyway. I need a place to get started. I figured she'd jiggle wiggle loose somehow. I mean, just a tickle anyway. I'm gonna let you down a little bit. Did I forget a bolt? I don't believe so. Maybe I did. I believe I did forget a bolt. Well, let's see if we can just get this on here and find out. By golly, I believe I might have forgot one. What size are you? You 5'8"? All right, now we're cooking. Had to get some muscle to put on there. Okay, is there another one over there that size? There's another one of you sneaky ones over here. I don't see you. Let's see if he'll come apart now. All right, good deal, finally. Man, check out these cool little fins on the torque converter. I'm assuming those little fins are a fan system for those vents right there. Man, that thing is gamey. Well, look how clean that is, though. 70 years old, that thing's clean as a whistle. All right, good deal. All right, guys, the next step is gonna be, I've got to get this engine broke loose somehow. I got to be able to get this torque converter off here. And there is no way in the world I'm reaching them bolts in there or underneath. So, I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a breaker bar on here,
If I even got to get another breaker bar on top of the breaker bar, aka a jack handle, we're gonna have to see if we can get this bugger broke loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and jerk these plugs out of here right quick, and we're gonna see if we can roll this thing over somehow. So yeah, let me get you set up. All right, let's see if we can get these plugs out of here. And he's like brand new. Like brand new. Them NGKs? No, AC Delco. Yeah, we got to get this thing spinning somehow. I can't even get an engine stand on here right now. I'm just going to have to go up and buy another one. Just all there is to it. All my other engine stands are full of engines. Come figure that. All right, let's get these other 4 out. Might have to get us some marble mystery oil and let this thing sit for a day or 2. I don't know. We got to get it broke free though, somehow. Got to get that torque converter off there. All right, let's see if we can roll it over. It's doubtful, but we're going to try. We get a jack handle. Come on, little buddy. I need you to roll over. Oh, mercy sakes. Oh, looky there. She went. Woohoo! Oh man, are you serious? All right. Well, get out there. Did she go? Oh, I don't know. Hold on. Man, that was about all the... Yes. Yes. That was about all the crap I had in my bridges too. All right, let's get these torque converter bolts off. Score. Good deal. Woohoo! Boys, I cannot believe that broke free. That is freaking amazing. That saves me so much work. It's like, dang it. If I could have just got it to do that before I started tearing stuff apart, maybe we could have tested it in the car. But anyway, I want it rebuilt. So let's go ahead and see if we can get these bolts out of the torque converter now, which look to be like, yeah, they're going to be rusty and fun. And then we can finally get the rest of this tore down. Man, that just tickles me to death. Good night. Man, there's nothing that says win or makes you feel like you've won something when that happens. Woo! I thought I was in the soup there for a minute. I do not like doing this like this. I really don't. Come on. Can't get no leverage. Oh, good night. Oh, well. Probably help if I was loosening them and not tightening them like an idiot. All right, let's do it and I'll loosen it now. There we go. Idiot. There should be 6 of these, I would imagine. Wow, come on now. Man, they're all the way up in there. Barely get my meat hooks up into them. Oh, if I grab the right wrench. I like this torque converter. I'm going to keep it. I see John's going to want me, or Cope Racing Transmissions is going to want me to put something different in there, which is fine. Which is fine. All righty then. You're going to come out now. No! Are you serious? Come on. All righty then. Good grief. A ton of lock washers hit the ground. I mean, a ton of them. Let's grab these up real quick. There it is, boys and girls. Gee whiz. It's like a car rim right there. Unbelievable. All right, good deal. So now we can go ahead and try to get this plate off here, which it looks like it's 1 bolt, maybe 2. I haven't found the second one yet. And I know this comes off here. I'm sure there's a second one anywhere. But anyway, let's go ahead and pull this plate off. And then we ought to be able to get an engine stand on here. I'm going to try to get a lot of this top stuff, valve covers and all that jazz, because I'm going to have to go buy another engine stand. Again, all of mine are full. So anyway, let's get in and pull this plate off. All right, everybody, let's get you off here. Surely there's more than one on here. It looks to be just the one. Bound to be a second one. You gotta be kidding me right now. Well, okay. Well, little buddy, is that it? Okay, good deal. Man, that's gonna need cleaning. Woo, get you some of that. Wow, I think Josh at Sleeper Dude bought a new one of these. It was like $1,600. Unreal. Well, guys, I guess while we're at it, let's go ahead and get some of this top stuff taken off here. Get it out of the way. Now, we're not going to need this distributor and coil can come off of here. We'll go ahead and get these valve covers off, carburetor off, get it all out of the way. So we can get this up to Calvert's and get it rebuilt. Come on, little buddy. Let's see what we got going on here. You can come on out. Well, buddy, where's my hammer? Come on out of there, pal. What are you hung on here, bub? Ah, I see. I see, said the blind man. Come out of there. Hey, whiz. All right, we're not gonna need any of this where we're going, so this will just go into a parts box. That is all going back with MSD, so we won't need it. This oil pressure gauge, we won't need it where we're going, because it's gonna run to a gauge inside the car. We'll get you on out of here. In the trash you will go. You can hang out there for a minute. All right, let's go and get this off of here. We're gonna start needing all our tools now to get all this off. Bye-bye. All right, let's go ahead and get these covers off. Well, that's on the head. We can just leave that there because we're gonna take them off anyway. All right, let's go ahead and get this generator off here. Get it gone. Set it off to the side. There's my deal, 11/16. Wow, okay. Oh, mercy sakes. Oh, mercy sakes. All right, breaker bar. No problem. You got a jack handle right here. Fix your little red wagon. Good deal. All right. What else is on there? What are you holding on to, little buddy? Ah, probably help if I took that off there. Come on, Mills. New guys. Alrighty then. Good night of living, that's heavy. Alright, we'll just set that right there. Take this. What do I do with them other two bolts? Alright, we got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and get this ground strap out of the way. Put that right back in there. Alright, good piece of ground strap. That's a 12 point. Not gonna need it either way, so we'll just get rid of that. And this is going up to the carb. Not gonna need that either. Where's the trash can? 2 points. Okay, good deal, Lucille. I guess we could go and get these manifolds off right quick. I'm definitely gonna need to soak up on them. We'll go ahead and get these soaked. Are we gonna take bets if any of these break? Anybody? Anybody? Are we wagering if these are gonna break or not?
No, that one's good. That one's good. That one's good so far. Shoot, yeah. I'll take it. I'll take that all day long, twice on Sunday. Oh, that one came out as a stud and all. Alright. I'll take that. Gotta get the bottom ones. Man, am I gonna get this lucky for real? Yeah, you watch the other side of the wall break. That'd be my luck. Come out there. Alright. Very cool. Very cool. We got to put headers on here. That's going to open this way up. Are you going to come off here? Are you going to come off here? Come on. Work with me. We can be friends. Come on, little buddy. Come on. There we go. Just be a pal. That's all you got to do is be a pal. You paid your dues. You've been on there long enough. We don't need you anymore. There we go. Score. Those are pretty cool. Pretty cool. Motor mount bolts. We can get rid of that. We'll throw that over in our parts box. Alright, let's go get this valve cover off. Wrong size? What size are you, buddy? Okay. Come on, buddy. All right. Try not to tear up this gasket. Not like I'm reusing it. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. That's game. Game E. Get you some of that. Check out that setup. See if we can get this off of here. Come on. Don't be scared. That's super cool. Check that out. Jason's going to have fun with all that. Man, what are the odds of me getting these bolts out of here? Wow. Yeah, I'm going to leave that for Jason. Have fun, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and get this other side taken apart. Get this manifold off, get this valve cover off. Then we're gonna have to move around here to the front. Get this massive water pump that holds literally everything together. I think that's actually the timing chain cover too. We get this pulley off, fuel pump off, carb off, thermostat off. Yeah, we're just gonna start taking the rest apart. We'll get the dipstick tube out, and then this thing will be ready to go to Jason. He can have some fun with it. All right, let's get back to work.
right, boys and girls, we got the whole front of the engine taken apart. Everything's gone with the exception to the timing chain cover. I'm going to leave that for Jason to deal with because whenever he does my engines, he orders me a new one anyway. Plus, he paints the engine, gets it all dolled up real nice. So the next thing for us to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any oil in this old girl. So we'll get, a drain pan underneath here, drain the oil, make sure there's nothing in there. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this old oil filter off, get it gone. And then we're going to go ahead and set it on the ground, go ahead and get this intake, all this off. Probably going to go ahead and pull the valley pan, check and see what it looks like in there. If it's really bad, we might go ahead and pull those heads. But I'd prefer to leave this set up for Jason because I'm not exactly, to be honest, if he's ever done this setup before, I'm sure he has, but I want to be able to leave him something to reference to go by, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and get this oil out, see what it looks like. My understanding is this thing sat for like 26 years. So, I mean, I may be wrong in that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they said. So anyway, let's see what this oil looks like.
All right, let's see what we got. What size are you, little fella? Oh, you're a little dinky thing. Okay. Let's get this cap out of here. I don't use this much anymore, seeing how I got the lift, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can just get you out with a pair of these. I said I'm probably going to have Jason go ahead and order us a new oil pan too, unless he can get this one cleaned up pretty nice. But I'll leave that up to him. Come out of there, little guy. Is there anything in here? Anything? Anything? Oh, black as my soul. Not much, to be honest with you. It's old. Ooh, there's chunks in there. Unless I had something on my fingers. Let me double check. Yeah, there's chunks in there. All right, we'll let that do its thing real quick. Let's go ahead and get this oil filter off. Oh, mercy. Size are you? 5/8? Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to do that. All right, we'll just stick you back in there. Wow, that's actually... He must have just put that in there. That is super clean. Yeah. Might just hold on to that. Oh, man, look at all the sludge in there. Good 9/11. All right, hold on. Let me clean up this mess right quick. Dang it. Made a mess. You guys know I am about my shop floor. I don't like stuff on my floor. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get this plug put back in. And then we'll clean up this mess. Where'd that plug go? Anybody see where that plug went? I dropped crap everywhere. Alright, let's fill you back up. Cannot believe I done that. Dang it. Idiot. Alrighty now, let's see. Let me get some rags. Oh man. Look at that. Look at that. It's like pudding. Yeah, it's gamey down there. This old ring out. Darren, if you're watching this, buddy, I'm gonna need some parts, man. Okay. Alright, let's get this moved back. Alright, let's get this moved back. We'll get it down on a tire. And we're gonna go ahead and pull this intake and go from there. And then I can get this cleaned up right quick. And then we'll see what happens. Come on, buddy. Let's try this one. Get it out. There you go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. What I did with my handle. You gotta sit there. Where did all that come from? Oh, antifreeze. All right, I think that's gonna work. So let's go ahead and get this off here. All right. we're sitting money down on that old pan. All right. All right, good deal, Lucille. Let's get this intake off here right quick and see what we got. Now these should be 12-point, and they are, so I'll have to go get some 12-point sockets, but we need to, yeah, we're gonna need to goop them up just a little bit. Getting there all the way. This here's one of them little 1-barrel deals. So we're going back with a 4-barrel. I actually thought about being real like cute if it wasn't a crap load of money and go 2 4-barrels. I think that'd be sweet. Or go 6-pack, 3 2s. We'll just have to see what happens, but let's get this one off here. Get this antifreeze up because I have a feeling that's the real antifreeze. And I don't want my dogs down here licking on that. No, sir, Bob. All righty then. Let's see what size these are. Get my fog lights back on. I'd say you're probably this one right here. Wow, come here. Oh, we got a mixture of 5 and or 6 and 12-point. So we're going to need. So has these two been replaced before? Yeah, there's one 5-point there, a 6-point. We got I wonder if this has been replaced. Huh. Okay. I'm sure it's had some work done on over in its 70-some-year life. All righty then. Let's see what we got. So we got this one faux show got to come out. Now I need an extension. Jeez. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, mercy. Oh, double mercy. Are we going to need the jack handle? Shoo. Let's try this little fella. Throw the hip into it. Oh, please tell me I just didn't break. Oh, I hate that sound. If you guys know, you know. It ain't nothing fun about that. All right, let's get this one. Oh, mercy sake. Good grief. Man, I had to put my purse down. Some of them are good, the other ones are like, what's up? Oh, mercy. All right, now we got to figure out these 2 6-point over here. I don't know if there's a 9/16, 5/8. All right. See if we can get these fellers out. Yeah, right out. All right. We're definitely not going to be hand wrenching all those. All right, the rest of them are 12-point. We've definitely got us a significant pile of parts off this today. All right, let's get the rest of these little fellers out. We're going to go back with all ARP hardware, so these will just go in the bolt bin. Alright. Alright, let's pop this intake loose. Make sure we got all the bolts out. We do. Boom. Oh, mercy. Alright, good deal, Lucille. Let's go ahead and pop this valley pan off, but I'm going to sweep that dirt out of there. Make sure we don't have nothing fall down in here. I mean, Jason's going to redo it anyway, but we don't want to add any unnecessary stuff for sure. All right, let's see what we got here. my God. Wow. Hold on. Somebody didn't change their oil, is what I'm saying. Wow. Okay. Get you some. Wow, yeah. Well, it's definitely a good idea to go through this. That is for sure. Cam doesn't look too awful bad. I mean, it's got some pretty gnarly spots like that one right there. I mean, get you some of that. Wow. Yeah. I mean, is that chunks? I mean, look at that. Yeah, this was definitely a good idea to have Jason do this, for sure. Well, I mean, check this out. Wow. Yep. I'm glad we made this decision. That's cool. We're going to start out with a good fresh engine. We're going to change the cam. That's one thing we're going to change. We're thinking about doing aluminum heads if we can find them. And we're just going to beef it up just a tickle. This isn't going to have any boost, any major horsepower whatsoever. But we want it to perform nice and we want it to sound nice. So, new cam, maybe aluminum heads, definitely headers. Going to think of a fancy way to run them right out underneath that behind the front wheel. But very cool, guys, very cool. Man, that is gamey, dude. I mean, what do you expect? 1956. I need to clean it up and see, like, all these numbers and see what all that means. That's very cool. Very cool. But yeah, here's the serious collection of parts we got going on right now. A lot of this will go on the shelf. There's an intake, and then everything else we've taken off. And as you guys know, you've been here before, I'm a table nerd. I keep everything on a table. Unfortunately, I need another table because I've actually got stuff sitting on my couch. But yeah, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to get it in here. Jason will probably have that done in a week or two. I mean, it's nothing super major that we know of. Yeah, very cool. We'll get that shoved in here. Might have him check and see what kind of pistons are in there. Maybe we can upgrade our pistons a little bit. All right, cool, guys. That was killer. I had an absolute blast doing that. Now, I know some of you are probably asking the question, why did we go this route? And, you know, it's a fair question, right? So I'm going to go ahead and answer it. You know, after the whole deal with the 400, you know, the big block went down. You know, Kathy, Squirt, and myself sat up there. And Kathy had a valid question of, like, you know, what route are we going this? Why do we need to go so big of an engine? Because we're not going to burn out this car. We're not going to race it. It's literally just going to be something that we can put back on the road and drive to the hardware store, go to the grocery store. You know, if we need to haul firewood to the house, you know, we can run it back the ridge and do that. So we got to talking about it like, look, you know, we could put a small block 360 in there, punch one out to 408 like the rest of these cars, but it financially doesn't make sense. Now, I did look at the vintage Hemis. They are for sale, the same ones that come out of this car. But, you know, you're going to spend a couple $1,000s just for the engine. Then you're going to put another $2,000 to $10,000 in the engine to get it right. You know, and this car, to be honest with you, as much as I love the Dirty Dodge, it's just not worth the investment, right? Not for what I'm going to do with it. So we looked around for something that was just budget friendly, something we could drop right into the car and be done with it. Now, granted, I'm spending a little bit of money to have the engine, you know, cleaned up, freshened up a little bit, but that's fine, right? So that's the reason we went that route. And I know some of you are going to be disappointed because even I hinted at putting a Hemi in here. And Kathy and I talked about putting Homer's 426 Hemi in here. But, you know, that's got a 1471 blower. It's just way too much engine for this car. So, look, guys, this is going to be a fun little deal either way. You know, I talked with Mr. Cope yesterday about the transmission work, which is not going to be a problem. And then I talked with my boy Jason at Calvert Racing Engines about the engine. So once we get through the holidays, you might see this on Thanksgiving Day or the day before the day after. I'm not sure yet, depending on when I can get it in. But anyway, look, from my family, Kathy, Squirt, and myself, we want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Go spend time with family because at the end of the day, all the smoke is cleared. The bottom line,
That's what matters is family. So, you know, make sure you go hug your mom, hug your dad, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever. You know, for me, who unfortunately has already lost my father, my mother's getting up in age. Once they're gone, they're gone. You're not going to be able to do it again. So anyway, go spend time with family. Have fun. Get fat. Eat turkey, because I promise you, we're going to do it. I'm going to gobble till I wobble, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, we'll catch you next time. I appreciate you watching. You know, this is going to be a sick little build. I appreciate all y'all subscribing and watching. And you know the deal. I say it every week. BRG out.